Say you can't change a single hair on your head by worrying. It's absolutely true. There is nothing you can do that can make your life easier by worrying about it. There is nothing you can accomplish by worrying that will improve your condition. Worrying isn't going to fix it. And you have a kid. If you're a mom at all, like me, if you're an aunt, if you're a friend, you have a kid in your life that sometimes worries you. My children have been the source of the biggest worry and concern and stress. I have never experienced as much struggle with my emotions, with my feelings, with my fear as I have as a parent. There is something about being a mom or a dad that makes everything so much bigger. I worry so much about them. It's ridiculous. And there is literally no reason for it, because there is nothing you can do to change your child that involves worrying as the key component. There just isn't. Now, if you're like me, you worry because you want the best for them. You worry because you're not sure they're going to make it. You're not sure they're going to get out of this crazy struggle that is life and be successful and be happy and be blessed and be just not scarred. I was so scared that life would scar my children and make them unhappy, that they would become bitter, that they would feel frustrated and depressed all the time. I was so worried about their emotions that I was letting my emotions go out of control. And now I'm a mom, but I'm also an aunt. I've got a cute little nephew staying with me. And he is the most adorable thing on earth. And this time around, I decided I wasn't going to spend my time worrying about this adorable child. I was going to spend my time enjoying this adorable child. So when things get rough, when his attitude gets bad, when everything seems to start falling apart, I have to discipline him. I have to, deal with it. I have to sometimes put him in timeout. He's so cute, don't do that, right? I have to sometimes take away what he wants. I have to sometimes let him kick and scream. But then, at the end of it all, I have to do something else. I have to not take it personal. I have to not think that I have to fix him. I have to not let every single thing he does affect my emotions. And some days it's harder than others. Some days you look at that child and you think, how is it physically possible that you can be this rotten? But then there are other days when your patience comes right back on you, where you remember what you're here for. And it's not to fix him. It's not to fix them. It's not to smooth things over and make their life easy. You want to, and you will try. I try. I still try with all my kids to make their life as easy as possible. But that's not what you're here for. What are you here for? You're here because your children need you. They need you to be yourself, to set the example, not by trying to be an example. If they're messy, you don't become so clean that you're obnoxious about it. If they're grumpy, you don't become so even-keeled that you never show that you have any feelings. You don't set an example by being the opposite of what they are, because that doesn't work. Trust me, it does not work. You set an example by being the best, most authentic you that you can be. And if you're doing that with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your energy, you are going to do the very best job as a parent that you can do. That means if you've let yourself go, get yourself back together. That means if you've stopped aiming for higher goals or reaching for your dreams, start. That means if you wake up one morning and realize that it's been a while since you did anything fun, you need to reschedule your life until more fun is in it. And that means If you believe that raising kids means sacrificing to the point that you're not a human being anymore, you need to rethink that. Because I looked at my wonderful grandmother who loved me with all her heart, and I looked at her and thought, goodness, she has no life. That is not what I want for my future. I looked at other adults in my life and I thought, they sacrifice and sacrifice and sacrifice and give and give and give and clean and clean and clean. And the minute they stop giving, sacrificing, and cleaning, everything falls apart. Am I going to spend my whole life just doing whatever I can to avoid chaos instead of teaching people how to keep chaos out of their own lives? And if I can't handle it all myself, I won't handle it all myself. I'm not going to end up with a nervous breakdown because I want to be, perfect. I decided that I was going to wear clothes that were comfortable and not come home so moody after church because everything hurt, because everything had been squeezed, squished, and high-heeled to within an inch of its life. I decided I wasn't going to become addicted to coffee because I didn't want to be somebody who couldn't smile at their kid until after their coffee in the morning. And I made 1,000 mistakes following all of those rules in my own life. Because the reality is that the opposite isn't the right choice either. When I finally found a little more balance, when I finally realized that love is a lot of sacrifice, and that's okay. But yes, I have to think about myself, and that's okay. And yes, I have to do what's right for my family, even when they're unhappy, and that's okay. And yes, I can have a moody moment, and that's okay. But no, I can't make that moody moment last 365 days and 24 hours a day. That's not okay. So I'm trying to find balance in my life. I'm not there yet. I still have a lot of long distance to go. I still forget, for instance, basics that I should be taking care of. I didn't work out this morning, and I really like the way my body feels when I work out, and I made it a personal goal to work out every single day. So I missed it this morning. I didn't wake up early enough. And I let other things get behind that caused all this to happen too. I have a cold sore because I overstressed deadlines that I had and that I put upon myself that nobody had even put upon me. And I had no reason to stress this out. And I stressed myself into this cold sore that does so much for my looks, I'll tell you. But it was funny because the moment the cold sore broke out, I kind of felt myself relax. I realized I hadn't relaxed for a long time, and it was time to do it because I did not want to make myself sick like this all the time. So I took a step back. I calmed down. I decided that things could fall apart a little, and I did not have to do everything right. And if I didn't get my workout in today, I would be okay. I could keep going forward. I didn't have to die like this, worried to death. And now when I go home, I may get my workout in. I may not. I may wait till morning. I may get it done right before bed. It's something that's there for me. I'm not there for it. I wasn't created for the workout. The workout was created for me. But because I like the way it makes my body feel, but because I feel like it's a privilege to get to use this amazing program that is helping me so much, I'm going to take the time for it. Because again, I have to take care of me. I have to get a hair coloring today because my grays are coming out, and I always feel kind of yucky when my grays come out. I'm too young to be this gray. So that's one thing I'm going to take care of for myself. So today, you're looking at your life. Where can you adapt this? Where are you trying so hard to be an example that you're annoying the heck out of people and making them want to do the opposite? Where are you trying so hard to be self-sacrificing that you're making people take you for granted and you're making yourself sick? Where are you stressing yourself out about deadlines that you created or that you allowed people to put on you beyond what you can handle? Where have you said yes where you need to say no because you cannot do it all? And where have you said no where you know you were supposed to say yes because it was your job and you were just scared that you couldn't? Right now, I am feeling tired. I had a very stressful weekend. Well, not even a weekend. It was midweek. It was a midweek. How do I think of it as a weekend? I need help. That's funny. From Tuesday to Wednesday, it was a really hard time. My husband got trapped on the side of the road in a car that was broken down with no charger for his phone and a dead phone battery. And he didn't show up until Wednesday morning. I woke up and couldn't find him. I realized he hadn't arrived at home at all. I'm a heavy sleeper and I made it through the night after I finally fell asleep, because I realized he wasn't home, but I just was going to trust that he was going to arrive because there was nothing I could do. And the next morning when I realized, no, it went further than I thought. He wasn't just gone till late. He was gone all night. I called the police. I flipped out. I let myself doubt. I let myself think that he was, hurt somewhere. Maybe had a heart attack from being left out all night and suffering all this that he went through. I had myself thinking 1,000 things. My husband woke up early, went out, walked 5 miles, got a phone charger, charged his phone, and called me. And by then, I had so many dangerous scenarios in my mind. I was starting to lose it a little. I am still feeling the physical effects of that stress. It didn't go away, even when he was found. I had a rage all yesterday after he came home. An enclosed rage that I was very careful not to let out at him because I knew it wasn't his fault. It's not something that he wanted to do. Some of the situation was his fault. He didn't carry his charger, but I nagged him. And eventually, you've just got to let a man either grow up or not. You can't force it. I was trying to force it, and instead I just created a situation that was very uncomfortable for us both. Now he lived a situation that reminded him why it was important to carry his charger. That is so much more important than every naggy word I could have said. So yay for situations that scared the heck out of me. But I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling it. A shaking deep inside me, and just my emotions are not what they should be. Eventually, I guess I'll cry. It's so funny because it's over. But that's how I usually do things. I usually panic and lose my mind after everything's okay. During the situation, sometimes I seem stone cold and like nothing bothers me. But that's just how I handle stress. I enclose everything. I lock up my feelings. I lock up everything until it's over. And then when it's over, that's when I lose it. But I can't let myself stress like this. I have to get to the point where I either know the God that I believe in or I stop claiming to. You know what I mean? I know him. He can be trusted. Even if the worst thing on earth happened and he was gone, my awesome husband was gone, God would have kept me. He would have held me together. I did not have to go into this intense panic mode. Because whatever happened, I could endure it, or God wouldn't have put it on me. I want you to look at your life today, and I want you to look at it like the mess it is. There's so many things you've taken on that were not your job. So many things where you thought, well, it's got to be done. There are so many times that you've said yes and you shouldn't have. And now there are so many things you should have done for yourself that you never got to. How do I know this? Because if you're listening to this, you're probably somebody who needs this message, and this is my message. Say no. Say yes. The yes will usually not even be to somebody else. It's usually a yes that you've got to say to yourself. You've got to take time to take care of yourself. You've got to take time alone, away from people, away from the applause, away from the noise, away from all the things that usually feed your ego. And you've got to do something that you need done. And it's probably not going to be glamorous and probably not going to be that much fun. But you need to do it. And there are things that you're probably getting a lot of pats on the back for and a lot of applause. And you probably want to keep doing them. And I understand. Because when your sole source of support and comfort and encouragement is gone, that's when you've got to find out what God can do, how He can help. That's when you get alone with Him, because He's the only one who can provide it. And that's when you realize that you've been dealing with a counterfeit all this time. Right now, I'm in the middle of that. I've had a lot of months and years of learning to say no. I've said no to a lot of things that got people angry at me. By the way, that's our crazy car. A lot of people who used to like me and used to think I was very helpful and very willing to help at all times, very eager, very friendly, now think I'm not. I had to say no. A lot of people who really used to like to hang around me don't want to hear me anymore and don't want to talk to me because I've stopped smiling at their little antics and I've stopped nodding my head when I knew that I should have shaken it. My people pleasing has come down to an almost imperceptible level. And I'm finding that the people that I do please now are the kind of people who are quality and add value to my life. It's not easy. I spend a lot of time alone. I still spend a lot of time alone. But I'm doing things that I really need to get done. Things that I feel called to do. I'm accomplishing so much. If you only could see how excited and happy I am about this. Beachbody is part of it, of course. You guys know I'm in Beachbody. It's fun. You can join me. But my writing, my spending time, I'm creating curriculum now. It's something I've always dreamed of and I never thought I could. I second guess myself a lot because people who did ask me for help only asked me for a certain type of help. And when they needed help in areas of expertise that I had, they didn't think of me as an expert. So I began to wonder if I was an expert. I began to wonder if I was fooling myself. And I'm starting to see that I'm not. I do have skills to share with the world. I do have information that you can learn from. I am often a basket case. I lose my temper. I lose my mind. But I'm also somebody who can help. And if you need help, or if you want to talk, I can listen. Have a great day, guys. We love you.